Hello my dear students, myself Dr. Pitambur Ramne, founder Botany for You and working as Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. Friends, if you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. And if you want to associate with us through the Telegram group, then the link is given in the description. Through that, you can join the Telegram group and can take the advantage of the different career opportunities in life sciences in India and abroad, and also take the advantage of the literature assistance in the form of PDF. Friends, earlier we have completed the two different lectures. That is, one is the concept of respiration and the second one, that is glycolysis. In our first lecture, we have seen the overall complete process of the respiration. And the first stage of the aerobic respiration that we have completed in our earlier class, that is in the glycolysis. And we have seen in the glycolysis that there is a formation of the two molecules of the pyruvic acid from the one molecule of the glucose. Now, the next lecture after the glycolysis, and that is the today's topic, that is oxidative decarboxylation. So, how that pyruvic acid is used in the oxidative decarboxylation, that we will see in today's lecture. So let's see the today's lecture, that is oxidative decarboxylation. So earlier we have seen that the glycolysis which is carried out in the cytoplasm, and after the glycolysis from one molecule of the glucose, here there is a formation of the two molecules of the pyruvic acid, and later on after the formation of this pyruvic acid, it is to be decided that there will be an aerobic respiration or aerobic respiration on the basis of presence and absence of the oxygen. If oxygen will be present, then there will be the aerobic process, and if there will not be the oxygen, then there will be the anaerobic respiration. So now today we will continue the aerobic respiration and will find out that after the entry of the pyruvic acid from the cytoplasm to the mitochondria, first of all there is a oxidative decarboxylation before the Krebs cycle. Many authors have considered the oxidative decarboxylation and the Krebs cycle are the two different things, and some authors have also considered that the oxidative decarboxylation as a part of the Krebs cycle. But I have tried to give the oxidative decarboxylation as a separate lecture, and it is different process, because if we see the acetyl coenzyme A, which is the substrate for the Krebs cycle, and this acetyl coenzyme A is formed in the oxidative decarboxylation from the pyruvic acid, and hence we can say the oxidative decarboxylation is a connecting link in between the glycolysis and the Krebs cycle. So the words itself meaning that there is a oxidation and decarboxylation, that is DE and carboxylation, means here DE, degeneration or the removal of the carboxylic group. So if you see this is a carboxylic group of the pyruvic acid, that is COO. So this in the form of carbon dioxide is removed, and hence here there is a release of one carbon in the form of the carbon dioxide from the pyruvic acid, and this 3 carbon compound, that is the pyruvic acid, converts into 2 carbon compound, that is the acetyl coenzyme A. This reaction is catalyzed by the pyruvate decarboxylic complex, and it is carried out inside the mitochondria. During this process, there is formation of one molecule of the NADH2, and the coenzyme is required for the process. If you see this simple process, then actually in plants or the animals, the oxidative decarboxylation is a multi-step process, and it is carried out in the 4 different steps. So that we will see in the next slides. Now this oxidative decarboxylation of the pyruvic acid that we have seen here, the enzyme which is involved, and that is the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. This pyruvate dehydrogenase complex is made up of three different type of the enzyme, that is the enzyme 1, enzyme 2 and enzyme 3. So this is one of the important thing. In addition to that, there is need of the coenzyme, then need of the nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, then thymine pyrophosphate, then lipolate, then FAD, and again here there is need of the magnesium ions also. So in this way we can say that when there is a conversion of one molecule of the pyruvate to the acetyl coenzyme A, again there is a reduction of NAD to NADH2, and there is a release of one molecule of the carbon dioxide. Earlier we have seen we have the two molecules of the pyruvic acid which are formed from the one molecule of the glucose, and hence from two molecules of the pyruvate, here there will be the formation of the two molecules of the acetyl coenzyme A. There will be release of the two molecules of the carbon dioxide, and at the same time there will be formation of the NADH2 in the form of two molecules. So if you see these different enzymes which are involved in this process of the decarboxylation, that is the first one, that is the pyruvate dehydrogenase or pyruvate decarboxylase, which is the first enzyme which is involved in the oxidative decarboxylation or the removal of the carbon dioxide. Then second enzyme, that is the dihydrolipoyl transacetylase, which is the second enzyme which is present in the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, and dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase, which is the third enzyme which is involved in this complex. So we can say that this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex is nothing but the combination of the three different enzymes. In addition to these three enzymes, there is need of again some of the cofactors, that is 6 cofactors. So these 6 cofactors which are involved in this oxidative decarboxylation of the pyruvic acid into the acetyl coenzyme A, that includes the magnesium ion, then thymine pyrophosphate, then lipoic acid, then flavin adenine dinucleotide, that is the FAD, then coenzyme A, and nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, that is the NAD. So here these are the three different enzymes from the enzyme complex which is involved in the oxidative decarboxylation. That is first one, that is the pyruvate dehydrogenase, and during pyruvate dehydrogenase activity, here there is an conversion or the release of carbon dioxide in the first step. So if you see the first step of the oxidative decarboxylation, here the pyruvic acid combined with the thymine pyrophosphate in presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase, here it converts into the thymine pyrophosphate complex, and the first of all there is release of the carbon dioxide. In the second reaction or the second step of the oxidative decarboxylation, the thymine pyrophosphate complex and the lipoic acid converts into the acetyl lipoic acid complex, and again the thymine pyrophosphate releases. In the third step, here the acetyl lipoic acid complex, in addition to that the coenzyme A, it forms the acetyl coenzyme A, and again the lipoic acid released. So in this way, here it is carried out in the first step or the first enzyme out of the complex. This is the second enzyme in the complex, and this is the third enzyme in the complex. So the first process or the first step is carried out in the first enzyme or catalyzed by the first enzyme of the complex. And in the fourth step, that lipoic acid with the NAD in presence of FAD, here it converts into lipoic acid, and also there is a formation of NADH2. So in this way, here the NAD in presence of the FADH2, here there is a formation of NADH2. And in this way, we will have the carbon dioxide, then acetyl coenzyme A and the NADH2, which are the product of the oxidative decarboxylation. It means that the pyruvic acid plus there is a need of the NAD plus coenzyme A forms the acetyl coenzyme A plus NADH2 plus carbon dioxide. So this is an overall reaction of the oxidative decarboxylation. So this is actually the product that we have after the oxidative decarboxylation of the two molecules of the pyruvic acid. So here we will have the two molecules of the acetyl coenzyme A, two molecules of the NADH2 and the two molecules of the carbon dioxide releases during this process. Now if you see this regulation of the oxidative decarboxylation of this pyruvic acid, it is carried out in the three different steps or three different ways. Number one, that is the conversion of pyruvate into the acetyl coenzyme A is a key and irreversible process in the metabolism. If you see the either different or single process of the oxidative decarboxylation or even in association to that of the Krebs cycle, then here this process is completely irreversible. Because here after the formation of the acetyl coenzyme A, it do not converts into the glucose again through the pyruvic acid, and hence it is a irreversible process. Then pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, which catalyzes the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate, is regulated in the three different steps. How it is controlled? That the end product inhibition, which is the first method to control the oxidative decarboxylation in the cell, that is the acetyl coenzyme A and NADH both are the end product of the pyruvate dehydrogenase reaction that we have seen earlier and are potent allosteric inhibition of the enzyme. The inhibitory effect are reversed on addition of the coenzyme A and NAD respectively. It means that when there is a formation of the acetyl coenzyme A and NADH or NADH2 in the cell through the oxidative decarboxylation, then it acts on the enzyme, that is the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So it will inhibit its activity and the oxidative decarboxylation will stop. But at the same time, as it is a reversible process, here after addition of the coenzyme A and NAD, again the process is continued. The second one, that is a feedback regulation, and in a feedback regulation, the activity of the PDC, that is the pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex, is controlled by the energy change. The pyruvate dehydrogenase component is specifically inhibited by GTP and activated AMP, that is the guanosine triphosphate and the adenosine monophosphate. So again here there is an inhibition with the help of GTP and the AMP also. Then again the covalent modification in the third step, that is under the conditions of the high concentration of the ATP molecules, the acetyl coenzyme A and those of the intermediates of the TCA cycle, further formation of the acetyl coenzyme A is slowed down. So again, if there is a increase in the concentration of the ATP molecules, here there is a slowdown in the process of the conversion of the pyruvic acid into the acetyl coenzyme A, and this is accomplished by a covalent modification. So friends, this was very small topic, and deliberately I have tried to give this separately instead of in association with the Krebs cycle, because many times there is a question on the oxidative decarboxylation and the students are confused that what to write in the oxidative decarboxylation as there is a single reaction. But now I am very much hopeful and confident that you must understand that it is not the single reaction, but there are the 4 different steps in which there is a conversion of the pyruvic acid into the acetyl coenzyme A. So thank you very much for listening this lecture completely. If you like this lecture and if it is beneficial to you, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. And also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life sciences titles. And don't forget to join the Telegram group with the link given in the description. Thanks a lot once again.